Yeah, well, I just want to show you now. I am right here at that spot where this huge rally has just gotten over actually, and the crowd is now dispersing. And if my cameraman can just lift his camera and show on the road, can you see the number of people that have gathered here? You can see saffron flags all the way up till the collectorate. This entire road completely cordoned off. And of course, there are a few police personnel here on duty, but even then, it's surprising that when tempers are running so high, a rally of this size was actually been allowed to take place. Of course, there's the SP and the senior police officials were also present here. But I mean, look at the large numbers that have gathered here. These are all Hindu organizations, the Hindu Mahasabha, the Bajrang Dal, the Bajrang Sena, the VHP, who have taken out a huge big rally here against what happened in Udaipur. A law and order challenge, but given the large numbers, but so far the rally has been peaceful. The march was from the town hall to the collectorate, and then the people here are waiting because they are going to go and give a delegation is going to go and meet the collector and give him a memorandum. Now, what is it that people here are talking about? Well, what they are upset about is the fact that a crime like this happened, and the fact that it was more now being seen in the context of a larger terror landscape rather than an isolated crime, rather than an isolated heinous crime. The fact that these people, the investigations have revealed, they were in touch with organizations in Pakistan. They had gone to Nepal. They were making data calls. They were making videos. And apparently they'd also created a WhatsApp group in which they were exhorting you to do similar kind of activities. We know the profile of the killers. They have been living in this area on rent for 8 to 10 years, we are told. And they have some kind of a welding work. This is what we've been told, is to do some kind of welding work. They are not from Udaipur, but they are from Rajasthan. One is from Bhim and one is from a place called Asind in Bhilwara. So that's the kind of, anger there is here. But I think given this, how tense the situation is, so far the rally is peaceful, but it's definitely tense to maintain this peace and keep the calm.
Harsha, as you said, definitely a time of tension in Udaipur there. But we also know that Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot is going to visit Udaipur today, and he will in fact be meeting the family of the murdered Tailor Kanhaiya Lal. So what time is the Chief Minister expected in Udaipur?
Well, just in a little while from now, actually, and that's another thought that struck me, that given the large numbers that have been gathered here, and this is coinciding with the Chief Minister's visit, it is, I think, definitely going to be a challenge to ensure that he also, securely reaches the residence of the person who to reach the residence of Kanhaiya Lal. But yes, the crowds here waiting, they're not dispersing, they're apparently waiting for that memorandum to be given. The Chief Minister is expected to meet Kanhaiya Lal's family. They've announced a payment of 50 lakhs and jobs for 2 children that he has. And the Chief Minister, of course, yesterday had an all-party meeting also in Jaipur with other parties, asking them not to call bunds because it further vitiates the atmosphere.
Now, Harsha, we also know that Section 144 has been imposed in Udaipur. That had been imposed the day this murder happened. So how come these processions are now taking place in such large numbers even after this section is in place?
Yes, well, this is definitely, they had informed the district administration for it, and they've been allowed to take out this procession because the SP, senior police officials, are well aware of it. Police bandobast had been given. Given the kind of, resentment that is brewing, the anger that is brewing, in some cases, the administration also feels that if you allow a procession under the police guard, then this could perhaps help, works as a safety valve to release tensions in some cases. But yes, I think the main problem is that if such a big crowd is allowed to gather in large numbers, when this crowd disperses, it could get up to some kind of vandalism. And I think while the procession is happening, the police is present, it's easy to maintain law and order. But when people start dispersing and they go out in small groups, then to ensure that those groups reach home safely and don't do any vandalism on the way, I think that's very, very important. In fact, we are also surprised to see such a large crowd. We did not expect. There must be at least 1,000 people here today in the center of town, not very far from where the incident of crime took place.
See, they have taken permission to carry out this procession, but two incidents are coinciding here, Section 144 and also the Chief Minister's visit. So this procession at such a large scale coming in the middle of these two events, how does that work out, and how will the security be managed when the Chief Minister in fact ends up visiting the family of Kanhaiya Lal?
Well, you know, like I'm saying, the procession here, if you see, just let me show you that if you see the number of, now there's a huge crowd behind me and there are only a handful of policemen here, if you can see. Right. So, you know, so far it's a peaceful procession, but if the crowd was to get restless, I think it would definitely become a problem.
Right.
And to allow people in large numbers to gather in itself is a challenge. So right. Definitely, you know, some kind of behind the scenes conversation has happened between the district administration and the Hindu right-wing organizations who've been allowed to take out this march.